What up, y'all? It's your boy Said Linus checking in. Once again, this is the Virtue.News Sports Show. This is the NFL Week 5 preview. You know how we do. We preview about 6 games each week, and then we talk about a few of the hot topics in the NFL right now. Then we also going to do our power rankings, top 5 teams in the NFL right now. Then we're going to discuss just some really big news in the NFL right now. Shedeur Sanders, how he's handling, still remaining at QB3 now that Dillon Gabriel is now the starter. We also going to talk about Travis Hunter, about him playing both sides of the ball. Looked like he got benched on the defensive side against the San Francisco 49ers last week, and what's going on with that. Then we're going to talk about A.J. Brown and his tweet, and he answered some questions about what it was about, and you know what I'm saying, was it about Hurts, was it about the offense? He's going to tell us. So number one thing I want to do is that I want to make sure that you guys log on to Virtue.News, the online publication. It's the greatest online publication right now where you can trust the news that comes out of it. This is the sports show of Virtue.News, but Virtue.News is an actual online publication. Make sure you go to Virtue.News. And also, we record this show live in the Fanbase app under the camp Virtue.News Sports. So make sure you sign up for the camp, and make sure that you download the Fanbase app, and you follow @SaidLinus to make sure that you are alerted every single time that we go live in the Fanbase audio room. Most of the time it's going to be on Tuesday at 3 o'clock Central Time, and Thursday around 3 o'clock Central Time. Those are the most times that we probably will go live. But let's go ahead and get into this, the games that we are going to keep an eye on this week. Now, we always do the Thursday night game, and this time is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Rams. Now, this is the Thursday night game. Usually, you know what I'm saying, this will be a very, very, very exciting game. You know, both teams 3-1. Both teams are fighting for that supremacy in the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks is also 3-1, so the NFC West is looking really good right now. But we talked about this at the beginning of the year, probably on our first or second episode. We talked about why the 49ers always hurt. And it just got much worse after we had that conversation. Because now you see that Brock Purdy is out. He's not going to play. It's going to be Mac Jones. Ricky Pearsall, who has been our best receiver this year, he's also out. Juwan Jennings, who's been our second best receiver this year, he's also not playing. To add on the fact that Brandon Ayuk is not playing, George Kittle is on IR, Nick Bosa is out for the year. I mean, we don't have nobody. Sorry, we don't have anybody. So this is something that's going on with the San Francisco. I don't know if we call it the health department or whatever, but every year that we don't make long strides deep into the playoffs or near the Super Bowl, it is because we are hurt. And this is one of those years once again. But you never know, because when you are division rivals, a lot of the games are going to be tough because we know each other so well. So I can't really say that it's going to be a blowout, but I do think the LA Rams are going to win this game. I think LA Rams are a really good team. And I think that if we were 100%, this would be a great battle. But I do pick the Rams. Just to give you guys some stats, Matt Stafford is kind of he's trying to creep up. He's trying to creep up in the MVP race. We got Matthew Stafford, 1,114 passing yards on the season, 92 for 136. 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy is 48 for 73, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 586 yards. But like I say, once again, he is not playing. I think Mac Jones plays very well when he steps in, and so I think he's going to have to really connect with Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's going to have a really big game, and our defense is going to have to really step up. But once again, I do think that the Rams would probably take this game. Prince Carlton, whenever you want to chime in on something, just go ahead and chime in, because I'm not really sure if you you know what I'm saying, available. But let's go on to the next game. We got the Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. This is also 2 3-1 teams in the NFC. They're going to be going head to head.
I agree with you. I think the 49ers, I feel like they're gonna lose this game. I feel like they're gonna lose this game. I'm an Eagles guy, so I don't even know. I kind of want them to win. You know what I mean? So they could bring the Rams down a little bit. You know what I mean? In the standings. So I'm going for 49ers. But I think, where they at? Do we know where they at?
Yeah, they're in L.A.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. So Rams gonna win this. Rams gonna win that. And that next game you talking about who's the Seattle versus who?
Oh, the Buccaneers. They're in Seattle.
That's gonna be a good game, because I feel like it's so crazy because the Tampa Bay haven't been playing so good. It's like they've been playing teams they should beat, right? But it's like they've been having that last minute drive. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
They've been having and I feel like this is a team. Seattle is a team that's equal to them. You know what I mean? So it's like we'll see where they at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's the same thing for both of these teams, because if you think about it, man, like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, they both were in Carolina together, and you look at their numbers. Now check this out. Look at their numbers. Baker Mayfield 83 for 139, 8 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Sam Darnold 70 for 100, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Baker Mayfield 904 yards, Sam Darnold 905 yards. Now, I think these quarterbacks mirror each other very well. They both been journeymen. They both were drafted in the same draft. They both been around the block, been in many different teams, and now they found their footing. So I do think that this is going to be a really good game. I will say this though: Seattle has to get Smith and Jigba into the flow of the game very early. Last time when they played against the Arizona Cardinals, I don't even think he had a catch in the first half. So they have to get him going really early. But this Todd Bowles defense is going to be very tough. I'm still going to pick the Buccaneers, even though I think the Buccaneers is having a little bit of a tough time without Mike Evans. But I'm still picking the Buccaneers to win and go into Seattle and go ahead and get that win. The next game we got coming up is the Denver Broncos versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field. We have Jalen Hurts, and then also we speak about Bo Nix. This is another guy who, people are trying to say, hey, start throwing him in the MVP race. Especially if he can get a win against the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Bo Nix, 90 for 137, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks, 861 yards. He looked really good last week against the Bengals, but that's not really saying much. The Bengals are just in a really tough spot. I think they need to go get a quarterback instead of just throwing their whole season away. But Bo Nix looks really good. That offense is clicking. And they're going into Philly to play against Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. You already know how that defense is. You already know what this team is. I have Philadelphia ranked as the number 1 team in NFL. They are the number 1 team in the NFL. Whoa, hold on. I didn't. My bad. I didn't do that power ranking yet. So I kind of the cat's out the bag. But anyway, Philadelphia Eagles is just a great team. What do you got to say about the Denver Broncos going against the Philadelphia Eagles this week?
Uh, you know what? Who home?
They have Philly.
Oh shoot, we gonna beat them. It gonna be. I think it's gonna be another one of those games that like it gonna be one of those games that it's gonna be one of those games that I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be a tough hard fought game. It's gonna be one. Not necessarily we're gonna get off to a big start and then they gonna come back, but it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be something like how we play Buccaneers every year. You know, like Buccaneers, it's so crazy because Tampa Bay usually beat us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like a lot of times, but it's like certain teams that we have a hard time with. You know what I mean? And it'd be like those those Denver Broncos, like the Tampa Bays, and like the Seattle Seahawks. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
those mid range teams we struggle with a little bit. You know what I mean? I still think that we're gonna get the victory. I still think that we're gonna get the victory, and I predict that they're gonna get AJ Brown and AJ Brown into the game real early. Absolutely, I think probably first play they go hike it and throw it right to AJ Brown just to
yeah,
get him going.
yeah. That's what I was. That's what they need to do. That's what I mean, and that's only right. You 'cause remember, just a week ago, there's a lot of stuff going on about Tyreek Hill. Should he be traded to the Kansas City Chiefs? Is Tyreek Hill upset in Miami and all this and that? And then you literally saw Miami get him involved and call his number over and over again in the first half of that Dolphins-Jets game. And he was having the best half of the season, you know what I'm saying, so far. That's the same thing the Eagles need to do with A.J. Brown this week. Get him involved, force feed him. It don't have to be very complex. I mean, just hike it and throw it to him. And just, you know what I'm saying, just get him involved, get him some touches, and then we won't even be talking about anything about how he feels or, the diva mentality or anything like that. So I still got Eagles winning. Next game, the Washington Commanders are in Los Angeles against the Chargers. The Washington Commanders, they're getting Jaden Daniels back. We don't know about Terry McLaurin, but Debo is going to play. Jaden McDaniels is back. He was in the MVP race before he got hurt. Justin Herbert is in the MVP race. This is going to be a really tough game. I think I'm going to pick the Chargers. They're at home, and I think that Jaden Daniels' first game coming back is going to be a little bit of a not tough sledding, but he got to get back out there on the field, got to get acclimated. So I'm not going to lie. I do think that the Chargers are going to win, but then I think the sky is the limit for the Washington Commanders. I do think they're going to finish the season with a top team. They just haven't had their quarterback. They're 2-2, 2-3 out of the first 5 games is nothing in the NFL. The Commanders can always come back and just have a great year, which I think they will. But also think that Chargers is a top 5 team as well. Justin Herbert is having an MVP caliber year so far. He's already over 1,000 yards passing, 95 for 149, 7 touchdown passes, 3 picks. And I just think they have a great ball club. I think Jim Harbaugh have them playing really well. And so I am picking the Chargers for that game. And then we got the Sunday night game, which is a great Sunday night game. They've been picking some really good Sunday night games. The Patriots versus the Bills is a great Sunday night game. And the Patriots have been putting up some stats lately. Their quarterback, Drake May, in his second year, he's from that class of quarterbacks that include Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix. He's from that class of quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels as well. the Patriots have been looking good, 2-2. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Patriots. I know they're in Buffalo, but I'm going to go with the Patriots. I feel like the Buffalo Bills they've been playing and messing around with losing a little bit too close against teams that I think they should beat by more. And I think that sometimes during this like 5-game or a 6-game stretch, towards the end of it, you need a little wake-up call. And I think this is going to be the Bills' wake-up call, to not play around when you have leads and not play around with certain teams or whatever. And I think the New England Patriots, their offense is really, really good, really high-powered, and I think they're going to surprise the Buffalo Bills this week. Stephon Diggs, 19 receptions, 213 yards, has yet to score a touchdown, but I think he's going to have a big week. And I think they're going to shock the Buffalo Bills. I'm picking the Patriots to beat the Buffalo Bills on Sunday night. And then we have Monday night, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I told you guys, my team is the San Francisco 49ers. I watched the Jaguars play against the 49ers last week, and this is a very, very, very underrated team. They are a very underrated team. Travis Lawrence is looking very good, and let's just look at his numbers really quick. Trevor Lawrence, 845 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 INTs. He's turned the ball over a little bit too much with that touchdown to interception ratio. ETN, 2 touchdowns, 394 rushing yards so far. Excellent year. Strange at tight end. They got Armstead, who is one of my favorite players. He got 2.5 sacks this year. And so the Jacksonville Jaguars is a very tough team. But I'm going to tell you what. I was kind of hard on the Kansas City Chiefs at the beginning of the year. Then once I saw them play, I said, let me not judge them until they get Xavier Worthy back. And they got Xavier Worthy back, and the Ravens could not stop them at all. I think they figured out their offense, and they're going to spread it out, and they're going to just get the ball to whoever can do something with it, whoever's open. They got Travis Kelce still, even though he's in his later years, probably his last year. They got Rashad Smith at running back, Kareem Hunt at running back. They got Tyquan Thornton. They got Xavier Worthy. They got Pacheco. They're just spreading this thing. Juju Smith-Schuster. They're just spreading the ball everywhere. And they got the Spagnolia defense that is, once they know you can't take pressure, they'll just blitz every single play. They'll just blitz every single play. Once they know you can't take pressure, they'll just blitz every single play. So Trevor Lawrence is going to have a really, really, really tough time. But I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think they're going to get a big win on Monday night. And people are going to start talking about them as a team that should be in the power rankings. Now, I'm going to reset the room. My name is Sid Linus. This show is called Virtue.News Sports Show. Make sure that you log on to Virtue.News, the online publication where you can get your true news from. And make sure that you download the Fanbase app, because this is where we record our shows live in the Fanbase audio room. Make sure you sign up for the Virtue.News Sports Camp. And make sure that you follow at Cedlinus, CEDLINUS. And so you will be able to be notified every single time that I go live to record this episode. So now let's get into the top 5 power rankings. Number 5, I have the Rams. And I think Matthew Stafford's having a really good year. Sean McVay, they're a very well coached team. 3-1. We will see what happens when they play against the 49ers. But I have the Rams coming in at number 5. This is their first time in this entry. I have the Buccaneers at number 4. And I believe that the Buccaneers are a really good team. I think they did lose to the Eagles, but I think they lost to the Eagles primarily because they got off to such a slow start and they turned the ball over early in the game. but I still have Buccaneers at number 4 at 3-1. Detroit Lions at 3-1. Excellent team. Jared Goff is playing great. Amon-Ra St. Brown is in the MVP race. So, I mean, the Detroit Lions are looking very good. I got them at number 3. Number 2, I have the Buffalo Bills. I have them slipping this week because, like I said, they've been flirting with losing to a couple teams they probably should have blown out. And so I had the Bills slip down to number 2. And number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they've beaten some great teams. Really good teams this year. They've beaten the Buccaneers. They've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Cowboys. They've beaten some really good teams. So I think the Eagles should be number 1 ranked as the best team in the league so far heading into week 5. Now let's talk about a couple of other big topics in the league right now. So everybody's talking about Shedeur. Now, if you haven't heard, Dillon Gabriel is going to be starting this week. Let me look up who they play this week. Who do the Cleveland Browns play? Let me type it in real quick. Cleveland Browns. Till I get back to that. That's right. They play against the Vikings. Yeah, that's right. They play against the Vikings. So Dillon Gabriel has been moving to the starting position. Joe Flacco has got demoted. And most people thought that logically he would get demoted to the third-string quarterback and Shedeur would become the second-string quarterback. But no, that's not what happened. Mike Stefanski and the Cleveland Browns has decided that Dillon Gabriel will be the starter quarterback and Joe Flacco will be the backup, and Shedeur Sanders will still remain as the QB3. Now, before this came out, they asked Shedeur about how he prepares and everything in the locker room. And Shedeur said that, he's prepared to play. He could play right now. And he said, have you seen the QB play around the league? You know what I'm saying? He knows he can play just as good as any other quarterback, pretty much, that's in the league currently, looking at the quarterback play that's been going on this season. And so Rex Ryan, former NFL coach, son of Buddy Ryan, and pretty sure the show's called NFL Today. He went on ahead and or Get Up. Maybe he did it on Get Up. I'm not sure, but he went on ahead and just ripped into Shedeur Sanders. And he really just, really went ham. Really said, he embarrassed himself. He needed to study. He needed to get it. Just all these assumptions, like he talks too much, he runs his mouth, things of that nature. And it's just like, buddy, why do you want to rip any shred of competitive nature away from a quarterback you have? He's just saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy. I'm prepared. I treat the scout team like it's a game, and I'm ready right now whenever they call on me, and I can perform just as good as anybody else. What's the problem? But when it's Shedeur, you know what I'm saying, there's always a problem. Now, I'm not a person who just comes out and defends Shedeur. I think a lot of the things they did at Colorado were just way too over the top and way too arrogant for me. But I feel like everything that he said and he's done in Cleveland has been what he's supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where I thought I was better than other guys playing before me. And if you would have asked me, I would tell you I'm ready to go right now. I could perform just as good as anybody else. That's the type of confidence you want your players to speak with. But because apparently Shedeur thought this was taken out of context. The next time they came into the locker room to ask him about how he felt about Dillon Gabriel, how he felt about Joe Flacco and things of that nature, and him remaining QB3, he didn't speak. He mimed. So we can't really say what he said because he actually just lipped the mouth of the words. He didn't even talk. And so now that's causing controversy because it's causing too much distraction to the team. And so this is why I go back to where I was at the beginning. When he did not get picked in that third round, it was clear to me that whatever was happening to him had nothing to do with his talent. And because it had nothing to do with his talent, you don't want to be in situations where you are more talented than people and you're not giving the proper shot for whatever reason. So if I was him, I would have went to the XFL. And I keep saying it, but that would have been the best move. Now he's stuck in a situation where no matter what he do in practice, I don't think he's going to get a shot. I don't think we're going to see him play for the Cleveland Browns this year. And so Shannon Sharp used to have this thing where he say, delaying the inevitable is what makes the fans mad. The fans get upset when you delay the inevitable. Okay. Well, to me, delaying the inevitable, many people say, oh, Joe Flacco, we know he's not going to make it through the whole year. So the longer that he plays and the longer you lose while he's playing, the fans are going to get mad because you're delaying the inevitable. Okay, so now they pulled Joey Flacco. Now they got Dillon Gabriel in there. But see, I think the fans are still going to be upset because I don't think the inevitable is just that Dillon Gabriel plays. I think the inevitable is that Shedeur Sanders get a right to play as well. And once the Browns, the fans see what he has to offer, then they will be satisfied with whatever choice the coaching staff makes, because then, the fans can be in on it. But the inevitable is that Shedeur gets a chance to show what he's got. And so at some point in time, especially if they're losing, they're going to have to push Shedeur Sanders in the game. But I think there's something going on that's political, or maybe they just don't like him, but whatever, or they don't like his father or something. But whatever it is, it does not have anything to do with his talent. And so I wish him the best. I wish Dillon Gabriel the best because I think Dillon Gabriel is a pretty dope, quarterback as well. But I just don't think Shedeur is going to get the proper time. Now let's move over to Travis Hunter. Now Travis Hunter seems to have gotten benched on defense against the 49ers. Now if you know Travis Hunter, played at Colorado with Shedeur. He used to play both sides of the ball, play every down when he was with Colorado. And now you see that he's playing both sides of the ball, but he's not really making a huge impact either way. You know what I'm saying? And so he got benched for the defensive side of the ball. And it says when the Jaguars traded up for the 5th pick to the 2nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, giving up the 2026 first-round pick in the process, they were expecting Travis Hunter to have an impact on both sides of the ball. Early in his rookie career, he's not had an impact on either side of the ball. And this is by Michael David Smith. Hunter is playing mostly on offense, being on the field 59% of the Jaguars' offensive snaps. But he has just 13 catches for 118 yards with no touchdowns and only 3 first downs through 4 games. On defense, Hunter is doing even less, playing just 39% of the snaps with no interceptions or other significant impact plays. Now, me personally, I do think the defense is a little skewed because a lot of times when they don't throw your way, they just don't throw your way, and you can't intercept, and you won't have any significant impact plays. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. Did I initially think that Travis Hunter was going to come into the NFL and play both sides of the ball? No. And I think what the Jaguars need to do, and I think that's probably what they're doing, is they're taking a step back to evaluate where is he best placed to make an impact the earliest. And I think they're thinking that is at receiver. I personally thought it would be a defensive back. But they're saying receiver. It looks like they're saying receiver because he played receiver the whole game. And so they want to make sure that he can perfect being a receiver first and then maybe put him in certain packages and things like that on defense. Very similar to Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders didn't play both ways his whole career. he really didn't start really playing offense until Dallas, on like significantly until Dallas. I do think that Travis Hunter is a dynamic player, and I do think that he should be a punt returner or he should be a kickoff returner or something like that, because he can very well make some really great plays. But I think it's a good decision to have him play just one position first, and then slowly make some packages for him on defense. But like I said, I think he's a terrific cornerback as well. So we will see what happens with Travis Hunter, but it's too early to start getting down on Travis Hunter. It's early in the year, you know what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence has to get his stuff together too. That offense, the Jaguars is 3-1. I think the fact that they're 3-1 is a miracle anyway. So we will see what happens with Travis Hunter and the rest of the year. And then we're going to go to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a tweet talked about not being listened to and you got to move on and things of that nature. And people made a big stink about it, saying that A.J. Brown is mad at Jalen Hurts, mad at the Eagles because he doesn't get touches. But they're winning every single game. Last year he was reading a book on the sidelines. Where do we go from here? But it says much of the speculation centers on the relationship or lack thereof between quarterback Jalen Hurts and receiver A.J. Brown. Last year, then Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham spilled the beans before doing damage control. This week, Brown posted a tweet that was reportedly directed at one or more members of the organization. On Wednesday, Brown tiptoed on a tightrope that had him admitting to being frustrated by a lack of touches, taking full responsibility for the tweet, and claiming that the tweet for which he apologized meant nothing. As to Hurts, Brown said at one point that the quarterback is not throwing to miss on purpose, which is hardly a ringing endorsement. Hurts was separately asked about his relationship with Brown, said Hurts is good. After Hurts said it, the corners of his mouth curled downward for an instant and his jaw clenched. Yeah, he added. Whether it's all good or not, all they got to do is keep playing hard. They can keep on winning. So it really doesn't matter. I understand A.J. Brown. A lot of these guys, they get contracts. They get evaluated based on their stats. So, and the NFL is a what have you done for me lately league. So, sometimes they have to be concerned about their stats. But this is a Super Bowl winning team, and this year they're also a Super Bowl caliber team. Do I believe that A.J. Brown, does he has a problem? Yeah, he's frustrated with his lack of touches. Probably frustrated with Hurts. I'm not sure. Frustrated with Nick Sirianni, probably for sure. But as long as they line up on that field and play hard, they are going to win. And I think they are a run-first team. And A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith just has to be on board with that. You know what I'm saying? And I just really don't hope that any potential personal issues between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts or the Eagles organization based on his lack of touches causes any harm or any threat to their Super Bowl dreams again this year. So that's our show for this week. This is the NFL Week 5 preview. Like I said, tonight we're going to see the 49ers play against the Rams. And then we're going to watch the rest of the games this week. I will holler at y'all next week, next Tuesday. And we will do a recap of Week 5. But y'all stay up. Make sure that y'all tune into the games. And we'll talk about this next week. All right, peace.